Hi everyone, I'm popping in here real quick to go over this problem on the study guide. This is on the back page, number 6, part C. This was the only problem from Mr. Armbruster's study guide video that I was concerned about just because he teaches it in a slightly different way than I do. How he teaches it, I was wanting to show you guys that concept later, so there's nothing wrong with it. If anything, you'll be a little ahead of the curve if you understand it, but I haven't shown it to you, so I'm sure it's going to cause confusion. So I wanted to add this video as an option for you guys to look at. Alright, this is a graphing the theta given parts. So we don't know what theta is, we just know information about theta. This is where we have to essentially gather clues about it, and from there we can find what we need to find. So sine of theta is 1 and cosine of theta equals 0. First off, that means sine is positive. We'll keep that in mind. Now cosine is not positive or negative, it's neutral since it's 0. When one of these is 0, that's a dead giveaway that this is a quadrantal, meaning it's on one of the axes. Next, from here, let's break this into a fraction. That means sine of theta is 1 over 1, which gives us our O and our H. And cosine of theta is 0 over 1, which is our A and our H. So I'm going to make a list over here. H is 1, O is 1, A is 0. Once again, if one of these is 0, it'll never be the H. If O or A are 0, again, dead giveaway, we're on the quadrantal. So let's make our little graph here. So if O is 1, that means we have, and specifically it's positive 1, and this is the vertical side. And since A is 0, and again A is the horizontal, this means we have no horizontal side. So we're not on the x-axis, we're on the y-axis. Since we have a vertical and it's the positive vertical, we're graphing the top part of the y-axis. And reminder, these quadrantals are actually on specific points. They go out to a certain point. This point is the point 0, 1. And at the point 0, 1, we have 90 degrees. This problem doesn't specify degrees or radians, so we'll just go with degrees. We have found our quadrantal. I'm going to draw the extra little details we normally draw in. So the angle of rotation, this is theta. That means theta is 90. Alpha goes from the x-axis up to the y-axis. And in the quadrant 1, first quadrant, alpha and theta are exactly the same, so they're both 90. Lastly, we're asked to find, it says in the directions, to find alpha, theta, and all 6 trig functions. And I'm going to organize these differently than, I'll write them all out. I got the space. Theta, alpha. Clearly, I'm not going to be doing these problems, so I will take their space. Sine of theta, cosine of theta, tangent theta, and their reciprocals, cosecant theta, secant theta, and cotangent theta. Reminder, this is how it will be set up, except I always do this out of order. Theta and alpha will be at the bottom of the list, but the reciprocals will always be paired up, so you don't have to figure out what goes with which functions are pairs. Our reciprocal pairs, I mean. Alright, theta is 90 degrees. Alpha is also 90. We have figured that out. And just a side note, if this problem were to ask for radians, because sometimes it'll say degrees, sometimes it will say radians, you need to pay close attention to that. In radians, these would both be pi over 2. You're welcome to convert that by hand or just have this memorized. Those are your options. Sine of theta, so we have HO and A already set up over here. Sine is O over H. O is 1. And actually, I'm getting ahead of myself here. They gave us that. Sine is 1. And cosine is 0. Tangent is O over A. Tangent is 1 over 0. And 0 on bottom is undefined. If you forget that, you can always put that in your calculator. You'll get an error message. Hopefully you know that means undefined. Reciprocals. Reciprocal of 1 is 1. Reciprocal of 0, remember 0 is 0 over 1. So if I flip it, I'll get 1 over 0, which again is undefined. And lastly, the reciprocal of undefined is 1 over 0, 0 over 1, which is just 0. And there you have it. That is problem 6C. The rest of the problems should be good to go. Pretty much explained the same way I taught them. If you have any additional questions over the study guide, please email me or come see me before you take your test. I hope you have an awesome day. Bye.